It's bad news for anyone flying to London today. Elon Musk is headed to the Pentagon, and dozens of mysterious critters were discovered under the Antarctic ice. That's some of what we'll get to on the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Friday, March 21st. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. London's Heathrow Airport has been shut down, upending global travel. Last night, a fire broke out at an electrical substation which provides the UK's biggest airport with power. That plunged Heathrow and thousands of homes in West London into darkness, and that shut down the airport. Heathrow officials said it would remain closed at least until tomorrow. This was a problem for the 120 flights that were in the air on their way to Heathrow when it was closed. It will also be a problem for the more than 1,300 flights scheduled to land or take off at the airport today. But that's not all. Even more flights may be canceled or delayed worldwide due to aircraft not being in the right place. Airlines are scrambling to divert passengers to alternative travel plans. But such a lengthy closure at one of the world's busiest airports will cause major travel disruption around the world today. So if you're supposed to be traveling, check for updates from your airline and follow the latest news on our homepage. Elon Musk is set to visit the Pentagon to discuss his DOGE reforms and China. That's number 2. President Donald Trump's billionaire advisor is already privy to some insider national security information as the head of SpaceX. That's one of his companies that has earned billions of taxpayer dollars in contracts, including from the Defense Department. And yesterday, the Post reported that Musk is scheduled to receive a briefing by Defense Department leaders. It will focus on the threat posed by China and the billionaire's work to slash U.S. government spending. The top-level meeting will bring Musk even closer to secretive work, deepening his conflicts of interest. In seeking friendly governments for his business interests, Musk has cozied up to Beijing in recent years to broaden the market for his Tesla vehicles. Meanwhile, public anger and protests have erupted across the country at Tesla dealerships and at SpaceX headquarters in Los Angeles this week. Here's Victor Sanchez speaking at that protest.
Enough is enough! Hands off our healthcare, Elon Musk! The United States has become an oligarchy. Corporate interests have taken over our democracy and are diverting critical resources to enrich themselves, deepen their own pockets, and leave us behind.
Musk's DOGE cuts are already beginning to hit the Defense Department. The Pentagon has set a goal of reducing the ranks of non-military personnel by up to 8%. That's nearly 60,000 people. Number 3. The White House is scrambling after the JFK files exposed hundreds of people's Social Security numbers. This week, the Trump administration released thousands of pages of files about the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy. They contain some fascinating details about covert CIA operations. But they also revealed the Social Security numbers of more than 400 people, including former congressional staffers and a former attorney for the Trump campaign. Yesterday, the White House acknowledged the breach and began trying to mitigate the harm. It said the files will be scrubbed for Social Security numbers and that those who were exposed will get new numbers issued to them. But some of those affected are worried about the logistics of getting a new number at a time when Trump officials are attempting to drastically cut the Social Security Administration's staff. Number 4. A judge accused Trump officials of evading questions on deportations. Over the weekend, federal judge James Boasberg temporarily blocked the Trump administration's deportation of Venezuelan migrants under the Alien Enemies Act. That's a wartime powers act from 1798, which Trump invoked to deport alleged gang members without a hearing. But flights carrying out the deportations continued despite the judge's order. So Boasberg ordered Trump officials to provide more information about whether they disobeyed the ruling. And in a scathing order yesterday, Boasberg called the information the government had provided him so far woefully insufficient. Boasberg has been locked in an escalating standoff with the Trump administration this week. Trump and his allies have called for him to be impeached, and that led Chief Justice John Roberts to issue a rare public rebuke. Number 5. Israeli troops entered northern Gaza, expanding ground operations. Gaza's health ministry said that at least 85 Palestinians were killed in Israeli attacks yesterday. The strikes brought the death toll over the past few days to more than 500 people. The ministry said more than 300 of them were women or children. Israel said it had killed 2 Hamas officials. Hamas fired 3 rockets at Tel Aviv for the first time since Israel broke a ceasefire and resumed bombing Gaza this week. There were no injuries reported from the rockets. Israel's expanded invasion of the territory threatens a return to all-out war. Families of the hostages who remain in Gaza fear that time is running out for their loved ones. The loneliest places in America tend to be in the Sun Belt. That's number 6. In 2024, the Census Household Pulse survey asked more than 500,000 American adults how often they felt lonely. For most people, the answer was rarely or never. A solid 60% of Americans said they either never feel lonely or take the occasional twinge of loneliness in their stride. Only 5% say they always feel lonely, while 8% usually feel that way. And some states seem lonelier than others. Mississippi, Louisiana, and Georgia led the pack. As a rule, extreme loneliness tends to be higher in states with higher poverty rates. The states where people are rarely lonely, on the other hand, tend to be further north, peaking in Minnesota, Vermont, Iowa, and Utah. Another factor appears to be age, and not the way you might expect. About 28% of people aged 18 to 24 said they always or usually feel lonely. That's 4 times the rate of retirement-age people. You can dig into this fascinating data for yourself by clicking the link in our newsletter today. Just follow the link in our show notes. And at number 7, scientists found something amazing after a huge iceberg broke off Antarctica. Back in January, a gigantic iceberg about 19 miles long cracked off the ice sheet. That revealed a patch of ocean that hadn't seen daylight in decades. A team of researchers was working nearby when it happened, so they decided to search the sea floor where no human had ever looked before. The scientists found giant sea spiders, octopuses, ice fish, corals, and sponges. One sponge shaped like a vase might be hundreds of years old. In total, the researchers believe they will be able to identify dozens of new species from the expedition. We have a video of the mysterious creatures in our newsletter today. I highly recommend it. It's very relaxing. Something to watch while you're stranded at the airport. That's the show for this week. The associate producer of The 7 is Taylor White. The staff writers are me and Jamie Ross. John Taylor is our editor. Additional editing by Christina Quinn. Special thanks this week to Timothy Wright. Copy editing is by Melissa No and Thomas Haliba. Mixing and sound design is by Jim Briggs and Justin Garish. Our theme music is by Edith Mudge. Renita Jablonski is our director of audio. I'm Hannah Jewell. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. I'll meet you back here on Monday.